guys, today I'm back with another process video. This time I'm using mostly the items from the October Afternoon Apple Cider Collection. I really like this collection because not only is it October Afternoon, that's probably one of my favorite paper companies, but it has such variety in this collection. So I think the papers that I'm using today is really different than the other papers I've used in this collection so far. So I was really excited to do this page. I'm also using a few other bits from my stash, and as we go along, as I see them, I will let you know. But I think mostly I kept the October Afternoon collection. This layout actually is really a simple layout. I wanted to keep it really simple, and I actually did this layout for Auntie Recreates, her blog. She had a challenge on there to use an element that we were inspired by that she uses all the time, and I was inspired to use my die cuts because she uses die cuts in a lot of her projects. So in this you're going to see that I'm going to use a die cut as well. Her challenge is over, but I just got a chance to put this process video together. But you definitely should check out her blog. If I remember, I'll put it in the description below, but if I don't, let me know and I can give you a link to the channel. So here I just cut out that gray chevron paper and use that as a background border to pull everything in your eye into the page. And then I use that blue kind of checker pattern as my background, and then I use that really pretty yellow and gray flowered pattern paper down the center of my layout. And I'm actually doing this based on a sketch, and I do think I show you that in a little bit here if I haven't already. Here we go. So that's the sketch that I'm using. And I use it as my inspiration. I really like this sketch. It's just really cute. So I'm kind of doing pretty much the same thing. I mounted my picture on some white cardstock that I had left over, and now I am just taking this gray paper and I'm going to mount the picture on the gray paper as well. I'm also going to take another more colorful paper from the collection and a piece of vellum and mount my photo on that in just a few minutes. So here I'm going to take that vellum, and this is just a cardstock vellum. It's a heavier weight vellum. I got this from Stampin' Up. I really like this because it has a nice body to it and it's nice and thick. It's really good for also stamping and then embossing on. It doesn't warp like the thinner vellum does, so I really recommend that for that. And then here's that more colorful floral piece that I said I was going to use. This is also from the collection. I like the blues, and I thought it looked really good behind the vellum. The vellum kind of gives it a little more subtle appearance. And I'm just using my tiny attacher to staple those layers in place so I can kind of play with them and move up the edges and things like that, so the picture can lay on it. And this picture is a picture of my daughter. We went to the pumpkin patch, and she was swinging on this like zip line thing that went across the little area. And I just love the color of the sky in the background, and then the contrast of her shirt and her skin tone and things like that. So I really like this picture. So here I'm just kind of fiddling with those layers a little bit, just getting some dimension, and then I'm just going to put that picture down on the layout. So I'm just going to layer these on, and I started sticking this down, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. I need to do another thing before I actually adhere this. So I'm just rubbing that adhesive off. And the nice thing about that HTG tape, it does just rub off pretty well, but it also sticks really well too. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. So here I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do next with my die cuts and things like that. So here I have cut out my die cuts, and I use my Silhouette, and I can't remember where I got these cut files. I think some of them might have been from Wilna Furstenberg, and then some other ones might have been just from the Silhouette store. I can't quite remember. Once I get them, I don't pay attention to where I've gotten them from. I just kind of goes all into the same file. And here I thought that the die cuts needed a little bit more punch, so I'm using this Glacier a Tattered Angel spray, and it just gives a very light silvery blue color to them, and just gives them just a little bit more of a pop. And I think in the close-ups you'll be able to see that a little bit better. So here I'm just going to lay out the different die cuts. I'm trying to again kind of go by the sketch. I wanted that really light and airy look to it, so I'm just going to kind of mess with these die cuts until I get it into a place that I like it, and then I'm going to adhere everything down. And I end up not, I think, using those other two pieces. And I'm going to play with some other things. But like I said, I kind of kept this layout pretty simple. I am going to trim out this middle blue piece because I really like the front and the back of this. And I only have 2 sheets of each. So I'm trying to use up all the pieces and keep all the pieces I can so I don't waste anything. So here I'm just going to trim the middle out here. And then what I'm going to end up doing with that other piece is just putting it in my stash and actually using it for another layout that I did at the same time here. Sorry about that. I don't know if you heard that, but my telephone was ringing, so I had to pause the voiceover. So like I was saying, I'm going to use that other piece that I cut out of the middle for another layout that I did right after this one. And you'll probably see a process video on that one pretty soon as well. So here I'm just gluing everything back down. I'm going to be real here fiddly, trying to get it real straight. I'm going to glue down the layers just straight to the paper, and then I'm going to end up popping up the picture a little bit with some thin pop dots. They're the Stampin' Up! Dimensional dots from Stampin' Up! So here I already put the pop dot on the back. I'm just taking the little adhesive off. And then I also put the little dimensional adhesive on the back of the adventure word. And so I'm just pulling off all the pieces. I probably could have cut this out. Sorry about that. It was a pretty short video, so I didn't have to cut a whole lot out of this one. The process went by pretty quickly, and that's kind of unusual for me. Usually my layouts take about an hour or so to do, so I think this one probably only took me maybe half an hour, 45 minutes at the most. So here I'm just going to stick this down, and then next I'm going to stick down all the die cuts. And so basically that pretty much is it for this layout. After all these things are stuck down, I'm just going to show you some of the close-ups. I'll pull the page up to the camera and you can see those. And then I also have some pictures at the end. I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I'm just enjoying all your comments and having a great time with this experience. This is a better experience than I even expected it to be. So I've had a great time. If you guys have any suggestions or questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. I love getting your comments and kind of hearing what you're up to, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. So anyway, well, I guess I will talk to you later and you'll see the rest of the process here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.